So, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. So, my name is Helen. It's really nice to meet you all. So, today I'm just going to do a little introduction, just tell you a little bit about who I am, what we're going to do over the weeks together, and then we will get going. That will just give a little bit more time for anyone else if they want to join as well. So, like I say, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for filling out the form that I sent. That is really important just to give me a bit more understanding about yourself. So, if you haven't had a chance to fill out the form or you haven't for some reason received the form, please do get in touch and I'll make sure that you get the form. So yeah, my name's Helen. I'm a trainee movement therapist, but I do lots of work around movement to support people with their physical and mental health. My background is working in social care for about 15 years before I transitioned more into this work, which I've been doing now for about 6 or 7 years. So I work a lot with gentle movement, like I say, to support people with their physical and mental health, and also working with our breath, because that's really vital for supporting us when we are in discomfort, when we are in pain, um, perhaps at times when we're struggling a bit with our mental health or we're feeling overwhelmed, just those day-to-day things that we often experience in everyday life. So, as we go through the weeks together, I'm not obviously going to say loads about it all now because I don't want to give you loads of information and overwhelm you with that. But as we go throughout the weeks together, I hope that we can really share these things together and learn more about them so that you've got that bit more understanding around how our breath can support our nervous system and how we feel, as well as, of course, our movement. Um, Obviously, and I know I sort of mentioned this on the form, but because it's online, and I've made myself big, so hopefully you can all see me. And most of you have got your cameras off, which is it is fine. But then obviously I can't see you, so please do take responsibility for yourself, for your own health. If at any time we do anything that you don't feel comfortable with, you don't have to do it. Um, this is a space, and in all my work, it's so important that these spaces feel right for you and feel comfortable for you, and that you do what you need. So that will be different for every single person here in this group. We will all need something different. And so I really invite you to listen to your body, listen to what you need, and to let that guide you. And I know that can feel a little bit uncertain at the beginning. What does that mean? How do I do that? But hopefully, as the weeks go on, you'll really build your confidence. And then if anyone feels confident to perhaps also turn their camera on, that would be lovely too. Just so we've got that sort of collective community. Um, Nobody's looking at anyone else when we do these things. I think we're either just probably all looking at me or we're in our own space, sort of um, looking at ourselves, really. So don't worry about anyone else looking, but I know that that can sometimes feel uncertain. So, as I say, the session is going to be recorded, so that's great. Please do have a drink with you if you need one, especially as the weather is warmer. It's maybe a little bit more chilly today, but hopefully we'll be getting some nice warmer weather again. So just take care of yourself on warm days. Um, I was going to just mention about music, so that may or may not be something that you want to have. If I was doing this with you in person, I would play some nice, calm, relaxing music. Again, that can just help us to settle into the space together. So if that's something you want to do, I'm not able to play it through the screen because unfortunately it just gets muffled and yeah, it would just be distorted. But if you want to play some music with you at home in the background, please do so. We'll also do just a very short section of the class where we'll just move a little bit more, and I'll explain it when we get there. Everything is on the chair, but we'll just move a little bit more to get our heart rates up a bit. So then, again, if I was in person, I would play a nice upbeat song for you, for us to like really move to, and even just singing along and smiling and that sort of thing, because that's all sends great signals to our body. People are still coming in, guys, so I'm just letting people in as I talk, which is great that more people are joining us. So yeah, so if you want to play music, please go for it. Obviously, that is up to you. And I hope as the weeks go on, I know you've all been part of the lifestyle program, so perhaps you know each other already. I hope that I can get to know you a bit. You can get to know me. Um, and I really want, as the weeks go on, and perhaps as we settle into this class a little bit together, because we've got a good 6 months, which is wonderful. Um, as the weeks go on, I'm just going to mute everyone again. There we go. I'd love to know how you're finding the class, if you want a certain something a bit more of or a bit less of something else. And obviously, there's quite a large group of us, so it's sometimes hard to get it right for every single individual. But hopefully, I'd love to hear your feedback. And yeah, we can hopefully make the class as best as we can for everyone as we go through the weeks. Okay. So, um, I'm just going to go and sit back on my chair in a moment just to make sure everyone can see me. I might sometimes come nearer the camera. I might be back on the chair. We'll sort of mix it up a little bit as we move through. But for now, I'm just going to go back to my chair and then still make sure you can all hear me. Okay, is this all right for everyone? Thank you, Ray. Thumbs up from Ray. Lovely. Okay, so thank you guys. That's great. So we're just going to start having a little wiggle on our chair, okay? And just taking our feet and just placing them nice and firmly down onto the ground beneath you. And then we're going to bring our awareness to our shoulders and just give those shoulders a little roll. And you can do this in whichever way feels good for you. And as we do this, perhaps we just take a moment here to notice and acknowledge how we're feeling as we arrive in this space. Perhaps this is a completely new way of moving for you. And so perhaps you're feeling a little bit uncertain or nervous or unsure this morning. So please know that that's okay. Perhaps you've been absolutely raring to go with this class and you've been waiting for it. And so there might be that little bit of excitement there. So however you are feeling this morning, please know that you are welcome here just as you are, and the same every week that we go forward. Nice, everyone. So now let's take those shoulders forward. So just give them a little roll. So our shoulders are often the places where if we're feeling a little bit, got any levels of stress, or perhaps we in our physical body are feeling a little bit stiff and tight, those shoulders can really start to tighten up. So we're just going to bring that awareness to these shoulders here. Nice, and let them soften. And then let's just take another little roll back. And I'm just going to sit on the side of my chair now just to show you. So we're going to lift those shoulders and really take them back behind us now. So we're just working a little bit more with these shoulder blades, really lifting those shoulders and taking them back. Again, just within a range of movement that feels good for you. So what I mean by that is you can do it a really big movement or you can do it a smaller movement. So this is all about listening to your body and what you need. And just notice, how do the shoulders feel on this lovely Tuesday morning? Nice, everyone. And then let those shoulders just soften. Let those arms hang down by your side if you've got the space there, and just give them a nice little shake. And then hopefully we can just let those shoulders go and we can just sink down now a little bit into our chair. So just let the chair really hold and support your body. And we're just going to take a few moments here to bring our awareness to our breath. So without changing your breath in any way, just take a moment to notice your breath as it is now. If you want to, you can bring one hand onto the chest and one hand onto the tummy. And just notice perhaps the rise and the fall of the chest as you naturally breathe here. I'm just going to take a few moments doing this because our breath can tell us so much about our bodies and our minds. And then let's just see if we can take a slightly deeper breath. So now we're going to inhale into the nose and then open the mouth and really let that breath go. We're going to do that 3 more times. So breathing in through the nose, feel the chest lift, feel the belly expand. Breathing out. 2 more like this. Breathing in, breathing out. 1 more. Nice big breath in. And a nice big breath out. Lovely. And then just let those arms go again. Give them a little shake here. Nice. So bringing those hands now onto the lap. And again, just have a little wriggle through your chair. So the bones in our bottom are called our sit bones, sitting bones. So we're just going to press them into the chair a little bit. Press the soles of the feet into the floor and almost rise up through the crown of the head. So we're not trying to sit super straight or anything uncomfortable, but we're just trying to find that gentle alignment up through the spine. And then from here, just making some very small circles. So taking the body in one direction and then the other. And again, just doing this in a way that feels good for you. As we do this, we might just notice our breath. And if this is new for you, doing like being aware of the breath whilst you move, don't worry. Just do one or the other, and as the weeks go on, it will hopefully feel a bit more familiar for you. Nice. So if you've been going in one direction, just changing now, going in that other direction. If you can, still keeping that nice length up to the spine and the crown of the head. We might even just engage our tummies here a tiny bit, just a sort of 20-30%. Just to support the spine as we gently do these circles. And remember, if any of this feels too much for you, you don't need to do it. You can come back to stillness. You can do a few breaths. That will still be really good for your body. Nice, lovely. So from here, we're going to circle ourselves back to center, coming back to our comfortable seat. And then we're going to bring the hands down by our side. So if you can, if your arms have sort of landed here, just turn those palms to face me. And then we're going to take a nice deep breath in and take our arms up to a point that feels good for you. So we inhale, we're going to reach those arms out to the side, start to raise them up. You might get the arms might come to here, they might come to here, they might go right up to you. Do what feels right for you. And then on your exhale, nice big breath out and take those arms back down. Yeah, really nice control there. Lovely. So let's do that again. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, we're going to take the arms down. Beautiful. 2 more like this. Inhale. Now, if you want a little bit more stretch and movement through the arms, you can really reach through the fingers. You can stretch through the arms. Up to you. Do what you need. Exhale. Bring those arms back down. Lovely. We're going to do this 1 more time. Inhale, reach through those fingertips if that feels good for you. Stretch, stretch, stretch up through these arms. Reach up here through the body. And then exhale. Yeah, really nice. Lovely. And then just give those shoulders a nice little roll here again. Forwards and backwards. And just release those arms off. So now we're going to just bring a little bit more movement through our spine. I'm going to turn onto the side of my chair just to show you what I mean. So if you still keep facing forward. So we're going to start with a nice breath in and reach up through the spine and the crown of the head. And then as we breathe out, we're going to round the spine backwards and tuck the chin to the chest. So we inhale, lift up through the chest. We can also take those arms back if that feels good for you. And then exhale, we're going to send those hands forward, tuck the chin to the chest. Okay, really nice. So let's keep going with that. So inhale, lifting up through the chest. Take those arms back behind you if you want to. If not, just let them stay down. Exhale, reach those hands forward, tuck the chin to the chest. Keep going here. And remember, do what feels right for you. So we can do these movements nice and softly and gently, or we can bring in a little bit more stretch. Just listen to your body and what you need. So we inhale as we stretch those arms back. We exhale as we breathe out. Reach with those fingertips. Tuck the chin to the chest. And remember, if it feels too much to breathe and move, as long as you're breathing in some way, that's absolutely fine. Nice. Doing a few more here. Inhale, reach those arms back. Hands on the legs, slide them forward. Tuck that chin to the chest. Reach, reach, reach. And then one more in your own time. Don't worry if you're not going at the same pace as me. It doesn't matter. Just gently move in your own way. And then when you're ready, coming back to center. Really nice, everyone. So let's give those shoulders another little roll. Let's see how they're feeling now. Let's just take any little stretches that you need. Lovely. Remember, take a drink at any time. So we're going to do some little rotations now through the body. So what we're really focusing on here is our torso. Okay, so I'm going to show you and then join in when you're ready. So we take a nice big breath in, inhale, reach up through the body, and then on our exhale, we're going to rotate round to the right. So the left hand comes in front, the right hand comes behind. And I'm really twisting from here, okay? So not just pulling round with our arm or our shoulder, if we can, from our torso. But again, do what feels right for you. Inhale, take those arms up. Lovely. Exhale round to the left. So this time my right hand is in front, my left hand is behind. I often get my left and rights mixed up, so sorry if I do. But I'm just feeling this nice twist here. This is where we're going to feel this. Inhale, arms up. Stretching up here as much as you want to. Exhale round to the right. Inhale, arms up. Exhale round to the left. One more time on each side now. So inhale, stretch those arms up. Exhale to the right. Inhale, arms up. Exhale round to the left. This time, inhale, take those arms up. Stretch through the body as much as you can, and then exhale nice and slowly take those arms. Yeah, really nice there. Lovely. Let those arms come down by your side and give those shoulders a little roll. If you want to do any little circles here again, you can do. Up to you. And just notice perhaps how are things starting to feel in the body now as you've been moving and breathing for a little bit. How is everything feeling? If you're feeling any pain or discomfort, please just take care. We definitely don't want to be feeling any pain. So if anything is painful, then we're just going to bring it back. All right, then coming back to center. So we're now going to do one, and I'm going to come down here to show you actually. So I'm a little bit closer. So we're going to do one where we interlace our fingers. So this is really good for like all of our fine motor movements, all of the fingers, the joints, the muscles, the bones in our fingers and our hands. So we're going to interlace the fingers. So I'm going to slide my fingers in together. Now, depending on how your shoulders feel, if you keep your elbows lifted like this, you're also going to feel it in your shoulders. If you don't want it in your shoulders, you can keep your hands down. So up to you. So if we're here, we're going to start to just move those fingers in and out and just see how this feels. So like I say, this is just really good for our circulation in our hands, for our muscles, for all those little ligaments and bones in our fingers that sometimes don't get so much movement. So we can do it really slowly in and out, or you can do it more quickly. Up to you. If you can, take some nice gentle breaths. And I'm already starting to feel this now in my shoulders. Okay, so if you're feeling it in your shoulders as well, then know that that's okay. If you need to, you can drop those elbows down. That will make it not so strong in the shoulders. Really nice, everyone. Let's take 2 breaths here. Nice breath in. Big breath out. One more, breathing in. Breathing out. Lovely. Okay, keep the hands together, but just let the shoulders drop down now, the elbows, sorry. So giving those shoulders a little break, give them a little wiggle. Now, the next bit that we're going to do is a little bit of challenging for our brains. So a lot of what we do in our movement on our seated movement is also to support our brains and our neuro pathways. So this is something that really helps with that. So we're going to draw the fingers out. So at the moment, I've got my right index finger on top, and then I'm going to place the left one on top. So we're going to interlace them again, but with the other finger on the top. Okay, the other hand. And then we're going to do the same thing. So draw them in and out. You can go slowly, you can go more quickly. If you want to really keep those elbows lifted up, that's going to work your shoulders a little bit more. If that's uncomfortable, then place those elbows down. Really nice. We're going to take 2 breaths, breathing in. Nice big breath out. One more, breathing in. And breathing out. Nice. And then just let those arms go. Give everything a little shake. Little roll of those shoulders. Very nice. Okay. I'm going to go back onto my chair, take a quick drink. So now we're going to come down to our feet a little bit more. So our feet have been grounding us down this whole time. Move it ever so slightly down. There we go. So our feet have been, like I say, grounding us down. So we're just going to start to move forwards and backwards onto our feet now. So again, do this as much or as little as feels good for you. The more we come up onto our toes, the more we're going to feel it here on the backs of the legs. Okay, and the more we lift up onto our heels, the more we're going to feel it on the fronts of the legs. So just move your legs as much or as little as feels good for you. Just getting them nice and woken up this morning. Lovely. So then let the feet settle. I'm just going to take my socks off a moment. Let the feet settle. And now we're going to start to wiggle our toes. So you might have your socks and shoes off like me, or you might have your shoes on. That's okay. Just as much as you can, wiggling those toes. So our toes are really integral to our balance. They really support our balance, as do the balls of our feet and this bit here. So over the weeks, we're really going to work with our feet a lot and our ankles, because our ankles are another source of strength for us to support us with our balance. Okay, so just giving these toes a good wiggle, and then see if you can really spread the toes out. So I'll sort of do it with my fingers, but so they might be here, and just see if you can really open them out. So again, we're just making those connections for our brain, getting those neuro pathways going for our brain and our feet. So there are over 200,000 nerve receptors in our feet. So they're really, really receptive, and they're talking to our bodies all the time. But we often forget about them and don't always give them much care and attention. So nice, give them a little wiggle. And then if you can, just sort of scrunching those toes up, okay? Sorry for anyone that doesn't like feet, but scrunch those toes up if you can. So if we're here on the floor, it's like we're scrunching them in underneath us and then really opening them up again. And as I'm doing this as well and feeling this in my toes and my feet, I'm also feeling it in my legs. It's like I can feel the muscles working in my legs as well, because of course everything's connected, and as we work with the feet, we're also working with the legs. Nice. Take a few more breaths here, just rolling these toes in underneath you. Lovely. So let those feet settle again. Give them just a little stomp. Again, as much or as little as you like here. And then let the feet come forward. So we're going to do one leg at a time, actually. So with the right foot, we're going to point and flex the foot. So point those toes towards me and then send them up to the sky. Now, as we start to do this with the foot, just notice what's happening in our upper body. So I felt myself go like that a little bit then. Okay, so if we can, just keep that nice length up through the spine and the crown of the head as we point and flex this right foot. Lovely. A few more here. And then releasing that leg down, giving that leg a little rest. Now we're going to come to the other side. So point and flex the left foot. Just letting someone back in. Just keep getting there, everyone. Really nice. Point and flex this left foot. Lovely. Just notice how this feels. And as we point and flex this foot, we might feel these muscles here at the tops of the legs just working a little bit as well. So let that left foot have a rest again. I'm going to come back to the the right leg. So we're going to do some little circles now with our ankles. So you can keep your foot on the floor. You can take it side to side or do some circles, or lifting that leg up and doing some circles. So again, depending on what space you've got where you are and how much you want to lift the leg. So you can do it in the air, or I say you can do it, keep it on the floor. So what you need here. So this is really, like I say, helping with our ankle mobility and going to help us to build that stability in the ankle over the weeks, which helps with our balance. Lovely. When you're ready, bringing that right foot back down, we're going to go back to the left foot. Either keep it on the floor like this, or lift it up and just do some circles in a way that feels good for you. Nice. Okay, let that left foot settle back down. So we're going to now do some things with legs together, with both of the legs. If that doesn't feel good for you this morning, that's absolutely fine. Keep going with one leg and then the other. So if you want to, we're going to take both legs out and point and flex the feet. So again, notice what's happened in the upper body. Have we suddenly gone like this? Can we keep that nice length up through the spine and the crown of the head? So this is working our core a little bit here. That's going to support our spines. Definitely feel these muscles here in the tops of the legs working. Nice. Take a breath here and then let those legs settle down. Okay. We're going to do that again with both legs, but this time do those windscreen wipers with the feet. So you can do one leg and then the other, or you can do both. Little windscreen wipers here. Moving the feet. You'll see I can move one foot much better than the other one. This is where we learn all these wonderful things about our bodies. But that's okay. Nice. And then when you're ready, let those legs settle back down. Give them a little shake. Now, one thing we're going to try if you'd like to. So we're going to take the legs out, stretch them away, heels on the floor, and then just point those toes up to the sky. And then introduce the hands as well. So we're going to press those arms towards me, palms of the hands towards me. Okay, so you either stay here, or if you want to, you can lift those legs up. So either keep them on the floor or keep them lifted, okay? Wherever you are, press those hands towards me, and we're going to take 3 breaths. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. One more. Nice big breath in. Nice big breath out. Lovely. Really nice, everyone. Bring them down. I'm going to get loads of nice high fives now on my screen from us all having our hands up, which is absolutely fine. Nice to have a little high five there. So what we're going to do now is stretch this right leg out and then just turn it a little bit to a 45 degrees. And we're going to bring our awareness now to this hip. So you might want to come a bit further forward onto your chair. I know I need to do this one. So I'm going to reach my leg out, and then from my hip socket here, I'm just going to gently lift and lower the leg. Now, if you have any discomfort in your hips and this doesn't feel comfortable for you, you can do some raises from the knee. Okay, so if you want to lift and lower from the hip, we might want to hold onto our chair. Make sure you feel nice and stable with your movement. And we're just going to do a few of these because they can feel quite a lot in that hip. Lovely, bringing that right leg in, left leg out. So either you can move like this from the knee, or we're going to just turn this left leg 45 degrees and then lift and lower if we can from this hip space. Really nice. Lovely. And then bring that back to center. So now, again, you might need to come a little bit further forward on your chair, but please hold on to your chair. And just take those knees from side to side. So we're doing some little windscreen wipers now with the knees, or the legs, sorry, the knees are bent. So just moving from the legs. And up to you. If this feels good, stay here. If you feel like you want a little bit more stretch, remember, just do what you need. We're just going to twist around a little bit more, but please be very careful if you're doing this. Make sure you've got that nice solid support on your chair. So I'm holding my chair as I go. Or we're going to, I think these ones are very nice, nice stretch. Lovely. And then bring those knees back to center. Okay, so I mentioned about, and I think we'll see how this goes over the weeks and see how it feels. But I mentioned about perhaps just doing something to get our hearts raised just a tiny bit, because that's really good for our heart health. And like I said, if we were in person, I'd play a nice, in my other seated movement classes, I get people to choose a song. So I get requests, and then we just have a few minutes of singing, moving, but just sort of moving our legs and moving our arms a little bit more like this. So we get just a little bit of the heart rate up. Like I say, we're all online, so we haven't got that music. But if you did want to play something next week, please do. We're just going to do that for a minute now, okay? So, yeah, nice. Just do this in any way that feels good for you. We can do both arms, we can do arms to the side, we can do one leg and then the other, you can do both legs. Really, whatever feels okay. But it's just about, like I say, raising that heart rate a little bit. And when we're all together doing this as well, it's actually really fun. Especially if we've got a nice piece of music to listen to. So we won't do it for too long today because we're all just trying this out together this morning. But just in your own way, find that little bit of movement. So where we're just moving a little bit more quickly and taking those arms up and those legs out, that's just going to start to very gently raise our heart rate. So just a few more seconds here. I can definitely feel it. Nice. That's it. And when you're ready, just let that go. There we go. Give those arms a little shake. Give those legs a little shake. Really nice, everyone. So as the weeks go on, we can build that up if that's feeling good for people. And what we're going to do now is just a few more stretches with the legs and the arms before we finish. So we're going to find a nice bend in this right knee. You might again need to just come a little bit more towards the edge of your chair. And then if you can, we're going to stretch that left leg out, okay? So the left leg is stretched. If that's not comfortable, we can keep both of them bent. Right leg is bent. And then we're going to take the arms wide and look over the fingertips on that right hand. So we've got those arms wide, right knee is bent, left leg is straight. Lovely. Yeah, really nice. Take a breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Then we're going to let that left arm come down by our side and we're going to reach that right arm up to the sky. We're going to take a breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. And then changing the arms over. So drop that right arm down, left arm goes up. Really nice. Stretching here through the body. Nice breath in. Let it go. Lovely. Let the arms come back down. We're going to draw those legs back in, give them a little shake off. And this time we're going to bend this left leg. So left knee is bent, right leg, we're going to either keep that one bent as well, or we're going to stretch that away from us a little bit, depending on what you need. Okay, we're going to reach those arms out wide, looking over the left hand this time. Take a nice breath in. Big breath out. One more nice breath in. Big breath out. Lovely. Drop that right arm down and left arm reach up to the sky. Take a nice breath here. Breathing in. Breathing out. Drop that left arm down. Reach that right arm up. So stretching up through that right arm. Really nice. Nice breath in. And breathing out. Lovely. And then releasing that arm back down, draw that leg back in, sit yourself a little bit further back in your chair and just give those shoulders, a nice little roll. And just take a moment here and just see, is there anything else in your body before we finish that you want to just have a little stretch with? Whatever it may be. Maybe doing a few circles or just finding any gentle movements that feel good for you. And so as the weeks go on together, this is just a little taster today of what our seated movement class will be. So they'll never be the same each week, but we'll do similar things so that you get to know what we do, but we'll also always do something a little bit different because that's really good for our bodies and our brains to just do something a little bit different each time. Really nice, everyone. So just coming back to center, plant those feet on the floor, find that nice length up through the spine and the crown of the head. We're just going to finish our session together, taking 3 nice breaths. So when you're ready, take a nice big breath in and a long breath out. Breathing in, breathing out. One more, breathing in, breathing out. Amazing. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been so wonderful to be here with you all. I think you've hopefully all got my email address. So if you've got any questions or feedback or just want to chat about things, please just send me an email. I'll get back to you when I can. And I hope you have a wonderful week and I look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you. Thanks so much for being here, everyone. Really nice to see you. Take care. Ah, thanks, guys. I can stay on for a moment. I'll stop the recording. Stop recording.